Okay, so back by popular demand, I am re-establishing the Evolutionary Flow program. However, this is the Evolutionary Flow program 2.0. Now, for many of you watching this that are thinking, what the hell's the Evolutionary Flow program? Well, this is something that I'd created, a 10-day course that's actually proved the most popular thing that I've done online. And it's a course designed to take you from a state of low energy, lack of clarity, direction, purpose, etc., to after 10 days understanding and knowing how to create a new routine that has you flowing through life, full of energy, being able to recognize opportunities, ending up having positive interactions with other human beings. In other words, creating that old you that you were when you were 20. And actually, that's not to say that if you're 20 right now, you won't see any benefit. You really will with this course because it's packed full of lots of different practices that I'll tell you about in a second. Now, I have listened to and read comments and testimonials. Like I said, this was very popular, this course. However, two things were at fault. Number one, in my usual excitable fashion, I wanted to run the course with live webinars every single day. And while some people enjoyed that, they certainly enjoyed the webinars, a lot of people didn't like the fact that they had to turn up at a prescribed time. They felt it too taxing, especially obviously on the working week. And also, I found it tricky because I had people turn up from the States, from Australia, Europe, and so it was impossible to find a time that suited everybody. So, from now on, with this 2.0 version, there will be one live webinar at the beginning and one live webinar at the end, both of which are recorded, and that webinar is sent out immediately to your inbox, your email inbox. Every day you will now receive an email, and in that email will be instructions for your daily practice. There will be a link to a video from me rambling on at you about those practices, why they're good, the research backing them, etc., etc. And there will also be links to practices in the Flow Hub. The Flow Hub is an online platform packed full of 700 different methods, practices, movement, flow, meditation, mindful practice, breath work, ritual, the list goes on. And that's what this course makes use of, along with other practices that I have built into my life that I've learned via breath work, flow, neurolinguistic programming, hypnotherapy, etc., etc. So you get a lot packed in the course. Perhaps that was the other thing as well that was mentioned, that in a way I chucked too much information at you. What I've decided to do with this 2.0 version is to balance that out a bit so that if you are seeking more information, that information will be available. But for most people, it's not going to be as onerous or taxing because the practices and the methods and the ideas are spread out evenly throughout the course. You will note that every day you'll see one or two practices that are repeated, perhaps slightly enhanced each time or developed further. And that is deliberate. If there's one thing I learned when I was a clinical hypnotherapist, it was the repetitive nature of the instructions that made the biggest difference. You will incidentally have full access to the Flow Hub for a period of 2 weeks. That will come as part of the price of the course. And then should you wish to continue using it, which many people do, then you can pay just €9 a month to make use of that platform. Now, on to the other subject, which was not a negative, but a topic of conversation that I found really hard to figure out, and that is the price of the course. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the course was at its most popular when it was at its cheapest price. I ran a range of different prices to get a feel or better understanding about what people were willing to pay or what was the right kind of price for the value that people were receiving. And I will be totally honest, I still have no idea what the right price should be. So, with that in mind, I've decided to err it towards the cheaper side. So, for 10 days, packed full of information and knowledge, you are going to get the course for $59.99, including the price of the Flow Hub as well. So there we are, that covers that. To remind you then, this 10-day Evolutionary Flow Program 2.0 will take you from a state of unknowing, a state of low energy, a state of lack of purpose, commitment, drive, passion, and leave you by the end of the 10 days in a completely different state and perhaps a greater awareness of what it is that you can do in order to make your life the most exciting and fun and vibrant it possibly can be. A few things to mention. So there'll be a link for you to sign up, obviously, for the program below. The first, or rather the start date, will be not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. There's also a link below for the Transcend Your Trauma program. Now, do keep an eye out for the latest trauma video that discusses big T versus little t trauma and how that it's very likely everybody has experienced trauma to a greater or lesser extent, and therefore why that program works for a much wider audience than we'd originally envisaged. There are links below. If you want to teach other people like I do as a coach around flow states, there's a link below there for the course at Flow Code. That's very interesting. There's also links for the coaching courses for Soma Breath if you want to become a coach like me and teach other people breath work. But also there's the 21-Day Awakening, which is, if you're new to breath work, a really exciting program that, I mean, you will come out at the end of that totally awakened through breath work alone. Obviously there's links below for NMN Bio, which is the nicotinamide mononucleotide that I take, one of those anti-aging type products, but actually it's much more than that. And what else? Obviously, subscribe. Do hit the bell if you haven't already. I don't know how many people do subscribe and watch my videos, but either way, it would just be great if you did, because I know it helps me. I'd love to grow this channel further. I'd love to be making more videos. I'd love to be engaging with you. And in fact, maybe that's my last point. I'm going to do another live on YouTube because I haven't done one of those for a long time. It'd be nice to chat to you lot. There we are. I'm done. Goodbye for now. See you hopefully in a couple of weeks' time. Bye for now.